So I've been watching a lot of Unrivaled, and this is something that I do think needs to at least be a conversation. I'm not going out here and saying that this is like the biggest deal in the world, but we have to at least talk about whether or not we should be worried about Aliyah Boston. Whether or not we should be worried about her as a future, like, long-term piece for the Indiana Fever. And the short answer is no. The short answer is no. But I want to talk about a little bit about like Aliyah Boston, what her role is for the Fever, how she's playing in Unrivaled, and different like things that she's doing now that she kind of didn't do and like wasn't doing at the start of last season. And maybe some of the points, like, as much as she's improved on a lot of things, there are some definite weak points in Aliyah Boston's game that I do have to talk about. But yeah, so with Aliyah Boston, she came into the WNBA. So I want to see if I can find an Aliyah Boston scouting report. So Aliyah Boston was meant to be this unbelievable post player. Like how number one Aliyah Boston projects in the NBA or in the WNBA. It's saying she's what the Fever needs, whatever challenge the Fever had, things Aliyah will never have to worry about, like coming in, an incredible example of what a professional player looks like. She'll elevate even the most veteran player. And let's just say, better spacing our usage. Part of the reason Boston's scoring dropped was her share of game clock offense. If you guys don't know, that she was, as much as anything, she was seen as this high-level defender. She was seen as a high-level defender in college, and basically saying scoring versatility, a lot of it was talking about how she's got like a decent enough pick and roll game that she was able to shoot threes, and that was kind of her thing. But coming into WNBA, she was a really high percentage shooter. She was very good with her back to the basket because the way Christy Side's offense ran through Aliyah Boston, she was able to hit cutters. That was what she did really well. She was able to hit cutters, and with that, she was able to kind of create her own shot. But for me, it became one of those things with Aliyah that as last season went on, it was clear that, she couldn't get the better of bigs, as in, like, you couldn't just dump the ball down to Aliyah Boston and say, go cook a big. Like, that was not her game. And it was trying to find what was her game that really kind of turned into, when she turned into the player that she was when she became much better in that face-up game. Now, she became an elite passer out of short roll, and she also became really nice with those kind of like floatery shots around the rim. She became much better in the pick and roll. And the one thing when it comes to Aliyah Boston that she has, that she really has down is that her IQ is at like a different level to other bigs in the W. Like, we can be honest here. Aliyah Boston, her IQ is like, people are calling her the female Jokic. The closest thing to a female Jokic is Emma Mason. But she is the best passing center in the WNBA. And that's not a knock on other centers. There are very few other centers that can kind of create, you can run the offense through, but not necessarily to. And that's the thing when it comes to Aliyah Boston. And it's the reason why her and Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell worked so well, is that I think people like always have a bit of a flawed understanding when it comes to offense in basketball. They very much have a flawed understanding because like, a lot of people just look at scoring as the only thing that matters in the offense, and they look at assist numbers as the only thing that matters in the offense. And if you're looking at those numbers, then Aliyah Boston, you're going to severely underrate Aliyah Boston, because I think her points per game are going to drop huge this year. Because there's only one basketball, and someone's points have to go down with all the players coming in. Somebody's has to go down. And I would assume it's going to be Aliyah's. But with that, we have got somebody that you can run offense through. like, you can't run an offense through Kelsey Mitchell. You cannot run an offense through a DeWanna Bonner, because if they get the ball in their hands, the offense stops there. Like, if you start trying to run your offense through Kelsey Mitchell, that's what happens in the playoffs. When you give Kelsey Mitchell early in the offense touches and allow her attack teams early in the offense, the teams have their help set up. They don't have to worry about moving around on defense. They don't need to worry about anyone else. They can just close in on a Kelsey Mitchell. If you're running an offense through her, that's what happened. That's a poor offense. But the difference is when it comes to Aliyah Boston through a Caitlin Clark, you run the offense through them. You can run an offense to Kelsey Mitchell. You can run an offense to a DeWanna Bonner. But you've got now two offenses that you can run through. The thing is, you can run an offense to Caitlin Clark. I don't think you can really run an offense to Aliyah Boston unless she's a mismatch. I don't trust her low post skills. But what I do trust with Aliyah Boston is her ability to make the right reads 9 times out of 10. And it's why she's so good at that short roll, is that she does the right thing on the floor. And her finishing is mediocre. Like, it's definitely, like, it's not nowhere near Brittany Griner level. It's definitely regressed from her rookie year. But the mid-range shot's still there. She's still a decent free throw shooter. And it's the passing that's huge. So when you've now got being able to run your offense through the big or through a point guard, it makes your team so much more deadly. It's like pairing. Like, yes, she's not Nikola Jokic. She's not taking the ball up. Like, if I was Aliyah Boston, that's what I would be trying to do. Like, you don't need to be fast. Like, that's what I'd be working on in the offseason, is just getting that ability to take the ball up the floor. Because you can see that she can. Like, you don't have to be fast to do it. You can see a couple of times when she's got it and she's had to, and she's looked to get it back to Caitlin. I would try to take the ball up the floor a bit. And it would be like, for an offense, comparing, like, that's the type of player that I think the Fever should be trying to mold her into, as a Jokic type player. Like, obviously not Jokic, but imagine having a Jokic type player with an elite point guard, playmaking point guard, who can also hit the jumper and attack. And I think you're going to be seeing Aliyah Boston next season. I think she's going to be like an 8, 10, and 5 assist type player. Like, I think she's going to go and set center assist records purely because of the team around her. Like, Kelsey Mitchell is an assist magnet because of the way she just runs off the ball and her accuracy. Like, she can be the most deadly off the ball player in the WNBA. So with her, that's the thing I would always look towards if you're Aliyah, is like, if you're going to be playing with a Kelsey Mitchell, your shot, unless you have something easy at the basket, a Kelsey Mitchell spot up or a Kelsey Mitchell cut is a better shot than Aliyah Boston post up. So, sorry, unless the Fever, and like, I don't see the Fever dumping it into Aliyah Boston. So I have a weird feeling that people that don't understand basketball are going to talk about how bad Aliyah Boston has been just because of her stats. Because last season, she was shocking to start the year. We can be honest here. Like, she was shocking. She was terrible. She wasn't in game sharpness. She was missing layups. She missed an easy game winner. And she missed an easy game tying shot too. Like, she lost a jump ball to a guard to win a game as well. Like, she was terrible. But we can also say is that by the end of the year, she was the second best center in the WNBA after, in my opinion, after Alana Smith. AJ Wilson played power forward most of last season. I think Alana Smith was the only center I would say was definitely better coming into the playoffs than Aliyah Boston. I still think that by the end of the year, she was playing better than Brittany Griner. But obviously, most people are going to just say, oh, X, Y, and Z center was better without watching the damn games. But yeah, it's a thing with Aliyah, is that her game is so much better than people think. But if you box score watch, you're going to think it's worse. Like, her game, if you are like, I'm watching Unrivaled, and her game does not suit Unrivaled at all, because she is whenever she's touching the ball, she's kind of being force fed post touches, and I'm like, not only is that not her game, she's actually really struggling at that at the minute. Like, she struggle unless she has a mismatch inside, she can't really win that post-up battle. And basketball a lot of the time is about basketball a lot of the time is about knowing what you do well, knowing what you don't do well, and playing to your strengths and not playing to your weaknesses. So I don't think we're going to see like anything really when it comes to Aliyah, and I would hope a good coach plays to her weaknesses, her strengths, whereas Chrissy Sides play to her weaknesses. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.